Good morning from Jerusalem. I'm in the Jewish quarter, which you can see a lot of Jewish people, students, next to their school, and it's a holiday in Israel. It's Sukkot. I will talk about Sukkot soon, but look how beautiful it is. Let's say 200 meters from here, there are a million Israelis and tourists that are visiting now the city. And here, it's a little bit quiet. Let's start with that the place in front of you is it's kind of a shelter for people who had no money. It was difficult to live in the Jewish quarter under the Muslim regime. The Jews had to pay a lot of money. They had old and not functioning houses. Then Rothschild here decided to build them a kind of modern houses with a kitchen in the house, with toilet in the house. Unbelievably, WC in the house. It wasn't at that time. It wasn't like that. Then, in that case, here it is today. It's a school. You can see that the children are enjoying kind of a break in school. And this is so funny. Although it's a religious holiday, the religious children are studying, while the secular children are not. Something is wrong with that idea. I'm sure that my daughter will hate me when I say that she's supposed to be in school now and not in front of TV at house. Then it is a little bit of that it's not something. It's like more like fun thing and not crazy battle. Then in that case, Sukkot. Sukkot is a Torah-commanded holiday. Celebrate for 7 days. I think that I'm now at the 4th day of that celebration. Yesterday, I was traveling at the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall, that you can actually watch the videos that I uploaded to YouTube yesterday. There are 3 pilgrimage festivals on which those Israelites who were committed to make a pilgrimage tour to the temple in Jerusalem. 3 times a year, every Jew had to be there to pray. That's why Jesus, as a Jew, visited the temple 3 times a year. It started with a presentation at the temple, and then he was 12 years old. And even in Sukkot, mentioned in John 7, when he told his brother, "Go, I don't want to go now to the pilgrimage tour to Jerusalem." But then, after they left, he actually went to Jerusalem as well. Then 3 times a year, every Jew had to be in the temple. They used to pray there. Synagogues at that time weren't a house of prayer. There was only one house of prayer, and that was the house of God. For the Jews, there's only one house of God, and this is the temple in Jerusalem. Today, it's the Dome of the Rock. It's a Muslim site. For the Christians, every church is a house of God. For the Jews, there's only one house of God, and this is the temple. Then, in that case, the names used in the Torah, because this holiday it's by God, are Chag HaAsif, translate to Festival of Ingathering or Harvest Festival. It's the last day of harvest. Then it's actually agriculture holiday. And Chag HaSukkot, which is translated to Festival of Booths or Tabernacles. Then in that case, look around you. And there, and behind me, all right, this tent, it's kind of a tabernacle for the children. And you can find it in every house here in the Jewish quarter, Jerusalem. Look at that. The roofs. And in between, you can see a Mount of Olives between the houses. You see them Jewish cemetery on top of Mount of Olives. So nice to be the only only tourist in that part of the old city. Soon, if you will continue with me the tour in the Jewish Quarter, you will see more touristic places and bigger Sukkot. Let's call it Sukkot, the booths, the tabernacles, because that is the biblical word. Things that you must know about Sukkot. First of all, they were supposed to open to everyone. As you can see, all of the clothes are closed now. The idea is that it will be temporary. Then it tells us two kind of stories. The first story is that the Jews went out of Egypt, and for 40 years they used to live in tents and booths like that. Then in that case, that's the first thing. The second thing is agriculture. Reason, remember the Chag HaAsif, the harvest, the festival, the feast of the harvest, and in that case, the Jews, the agriculture part, used to build themselves booths like that in the fields until the end of the harvest. The lions, I'm sure that you will ask you why there are lions here. This is a symbol of the tribe of Judea, but it became to be a symbol of Jerusalem as well. Then let's leave that beautiful place. Let's continue to the main center of the Jewish Quarter, and some of you, if you already visit the Jewish Quarter, you will recognize it. Look how beautiful it is. Then most of the places are new. Most of the houses are new because in 1948 the Jordanians occupied Jerusalem. Jerusalem, according to the United Nations decision, was supposed to be owned by United Nations, not by Israel, not by Palestine, but the Jordanians occupied most of Palestine and of future Palestine, because it wasn't exist as a country. And when they reached the Jewish Quarter, they destroy most of the Jewish Quarter. Here you can see kind of a memorial site for a tomb that used to be here. In 1948, 48 of the people that lived here died by the Jordanians and buried in the same place. One of them was, I think, 11 or 12 years old, and it used to be like that. In 1967, when we came back, we took the 48 bodies and buried them on top of Mount of Olives. You just saw it a few minutes ago, and if not, there are so many videos of mine that you can actually watch it. Then if I'll turn left, if I'll turn right, you will see Sukkot. In a Sukkot, you're supposed to live like you are, like it's your apartment for 7 days. You're supposed to eat there, to sleep there, to entertain people. I mean, the idea is to invite people, strangers, into your sukkah. It's called hushpizin. Sadly, it's I came very, 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 very hungry. I was sure that they will feed me, but as you can see, no one is there. Then I'm still hungry. Then what you see here is a many new quarter, because it was built in 1967. You can see the mezuzah, which is a symbol for every Jewish house. Look how beautiful is that door with the menorah. And look at the mezuzah here. And another sukkah in front of you.
Still there.
I wanted to see one of the most beautiful doors of one of the synagogue of Elijah, the prophet. Look how beautiful it is. Remember, it's still quiet now. Only if you're a tourist. Now we can see another sukkah. Remember, the Jews are supposed to eat and sleep in a sukkah, but that belongs to one of the coffee places. And the idea is that he will eat in a sukkah. Then this is kind of an open sukkah, and soon you will see more of it, or more like it. As you can see, it's more crowded.
Destroyed by the Jordanians in 48. They blew it up, and then it was restored.
Those are restaurants, sukkah. The idea is that you will eat in it, because it's a command that this is what God told us to do. God told them to do. Another name for that holiday is the holiday of happiness. And sadly, it's not the well-known holiday in Judaism, although it's one of the third festivals of pilgrimage. Then here you can see a big sukkah. Bruchim Abim, the sign saying Happy Holiday. And you can see the menorah, which is a replica of the Jewish temple here in front of you. And a barbecue sukkah. If you want to eat, to buy at a barbecue place, you can eat in the sukkah. Another thing that you can see is that the man is walking with a plastic bag. In it there are 4 species. I was talking about it yesterday. Again, it's what God told the Jews to do. They have to bless it every day. And if you're a Christian, you know that when Jesus entered as a Messiah to the city, they used to take their palm branches and used to say Hosanna, 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 which is in Hebrew, Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna. It's Aramaic in Hebrew, and it save us, save us, save us. And you can do that. The Jews are doing it in this holiday. It's not something that the Bible decided to mention as a new thing. The Jews are still doing it. That there is a huge relationship between Judaism and Christianity. You must understand that what Jesus did most of the time was kind of a Jewish customs, Jewish things. He was here for 3 times a year. He was praying in the Jewish temple. He didn't pray in a synagogue. He was preaching. Synagogue was a house of prayer. Sorry, actually community house. Until today, the name of more butts, more Sukkot. Until today, I mean, the Jews call the synagogues in Israel Bet Knesset, the house of the community. After the destruction of the temple, the Jews started to pray in a synagogue. Then it became to be house of prayer, but not the house of God as a church. There's only one house of God, and this is the Temple Mount, the Jewish temple on it. What I can see here is a wall, or base of the wall from 8th century BC, built by King Hezekiah. They're renovating it now, then they cover it. But I do have so many videos about it, and you can see how it looks like it like before. Let me show you a little bit of the Jewish quarter and the Sukkot. There's a big one on the way, then stay tuned with me. And you can see kind of an ancient street from 6th century. Right there, you can see a few of the shops. And sidewalk was here with columns, and the road was to the right. We're gonna see it soon, but let us go through the Cardo, the main street of a Roman street from 6th century. And you will understand what I'm talking about, but I want you to understand that it was wide. The word Cardo, as we believe, came from the word the heart. Remember, I hope that you never visit another sukkah, which the people are staying there. I hope that you didn't visit a doctor who deals with the heart. This is cardiologic. Doctor, cardio, and Cardo, the heart of the city. Then here you see the columns. Shops were there. And see with the menorah, there were shops there as well, the other side. And sidewalk, we have only to excavate here and to find it, and it actually looks like that. But let me show you what is old, 6th century old. That one, because the rest is 20th century and more of the 6th century. And let me show you that the Cardo was so well known that when someone created the most ancient map of Jerusalem, actually the Holy Land, but I'm talking about Jerusalem, he mentioned that street because that street was so important at that time in Jerusalem. Now, just to show you the map, this is the Madapa map from 6th century, and let me show you the street. I do have videos of the map itself, but I'm talking about this street. You can see the columns here. We are somewhere here now, and then it's reached to Damascus Gate of today, which is there. And if we will continue to the other side, to Mount Zion Gate. Then, let me show you another part of the Cardo. And you will see there another sukkah. Surprise! And this is sukkah for pilgrimage. Then everyone can go there and bring his food or buy his food somewhere and then celebrate and eat it in the sukkah. And this is the big sukkah, and the idea of the sukkah, I forgot to mention it, that you will be able to see the sky from it. Remember, it's a temporary place. Then there's so many rules for it, and now we study once more about, we are talking about the Cardo. Then you can see the part of the shopping area, and I'm standing on the sidewalk, Suez Canal, and that was part of the road which continued until the building that you see there. How we found it? Very easy. Remember that Jordanians destroyed the Jewish quarter? Then in 1967, when we came back to Jerusalem, we decided first to excavate and then to build the new Jewish quarter. Beneath the Jewish quarter, you can find so many museums, so many places that you can actually go back with it into the 1st century, 8th century BC. We already saw. Then lots of history beneath the Jewish quarter, and that's for a different tour. A little bit more of Sukkot, and if you like that video, then I will be more than happy if you will subscribe to my channel and be part of my family. Then happy Sukkot from Jerusalem 2022.